Okay. Okay, so last time we had to cover a lot of the preliminary stuff of the background of PowerShell and why it works and, why we do things and why we should care and how it's put together. We don't have to do any of that stuff this time because we've already covered it. So if this is your first class with us, then go back and watch that old recording and then go back and watch this recording and you'll be up and running, right? So, okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to jump right into it. So I'm going to come down here and open up PowerShell. I'm on Windows 7. There we go. You'll see this little loading SQL Server provider up here. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. So one of the first things we're going to do, and then we'll teach you guys how to move around in PowerShell, because while it's just a command shell window, right, there are some pretty cool things that you can do in here, and understanding how you can do these things will make you really, really productive, because one of the complaints that people have over about command lines over GUIs is that all you can do is type and go forwards and backwards and that's it, and that's really not the case in PowerShell. You can do some pretty cool things. Now, you don't have the richness that you have in a full-blown GUI, right? But you've still got some pretty cute little tricks that you can do. So, let's start with, let's enter in a couple commands first, right? We'll say get process. Good. Okay, we got process, and let's say get service. Okay, so I've entered in 2 commands. If I want to enter in another one of those commands, actually I'll do another one too. We'll say cd. Oh, there we go. So if I want to cycle through those commands, I can cycle through those commands with the up and down arrows, right? So it's the same way it is in DOS. You can do that. Just cycle through these. I'll say get service again, or I'll say get process again, and then I get my processes. So you can go backwards and forwards through those commands through the up and down arrows. Now what's also cool is I can hit F7 and I can bring up a little window that I can just scroll through all of my commands as well, and I'm using the arrows for this as well. And say if I want to go back to CD, right, then I just CD and I go there. If I'm here in F7 and I want to get out of it, I can just hit escape, right? But what happens if I want to clear my command history? So I've got all of these commands in here. I'm scrolling through them down here at the bottom, you can see, and I want to get rid of them. All I got to do is hit Alt F7, right? Let me go ahead and run that. Sorry. No, I'll hit. Where is it? There you go. F7, and all of a sudden I have no command history. I'm going through the up and down arrows and I have nothing. So Alt F7 will clear the history, and F7 will show you that history. So let's do another one. Let's say CD, I don't know, Windows, right? Okay, there we go. Now if I hit F7 again, now I've got the command that I've brought up before. Okay? Cool. So let me go ahead and hit escape to get out of that. Now one other thing you can do that's actually pretty nifty is the control home and control end. So let's go ahead and write a long command, get WMI object win32, let's say service, right? And then I'll say computer name localhost. Good. So it doesn't really matter, because what I'm doing here is, let's say I don't want to do service and all that. I want to do Win32 something, right? So if I say control end, I can just delete from that point on. And I'll just bring in gibberish here, right? Because it doesn't really matter what I'm typing. But let's say I want to keep only the gibberish. So if I say control home, I delete everything from there to the beginning. And now I can do control end again and delete everything from the end. And let's say, and I'm going to go with gibberish again just to move things along, right? So let's say if I'm here and I realize that this whole line is garbage and I say I don't want to do this at all, if I just hit escape, I can delete the entire line. This kind of stuff is actually pretty handy, because let's say that I'm scrolling through commands and I've got some really long commands. Let's say I'll do this, and I'll do that, and I'll do that, and I'll do that. I realize I should be doing real PowerShell commands here, but I'm just trying to move things along just to show you. So let's say now I want to scroll through these guys, right? So I've got this scrolled through, and I go, oh, I don't want to do that one. I can just hit escape, and it'll delete that whole line, and then I can start doing what I want to do again. Okay? So up and down arrows will scroll through the commands, right? If I don't like that command, I can just hit escape to delete the entire line. F7 will bring me up a window with all the commands that I can scroll through, right? I'm going to hit CD Windows there. I'll hit something that's valid for a change. I don't like to see all that red, so let's go ahead and clear the screen. CLS for clear screen. Ah, there we go. Alt F7 will delete the history. See, I've still got all this, right? Alt F7 will delete all my history. I'm scrolling through right now, and I've got nothing. And then Control Home and Control End will delete from the position you are either to the beginning or to the end of the line. And don't forget that escape will delete the entire line. These are some pretty handy things. As well, you can get some suggestions from PowerShell that make things really easy. So if I want to say CD space, right, and then if I hit the tab, it'll sit here and tab through the different files and folders on that in that directory for me, right? So you can say I'm just tabbing through, and you can tab through and find what you want, right? I'm going to hit escape there to get out of that. The same thing, if I want to see all of the commandlets for a certain, with a certain verb, a really easy way to do that would be to say get dash, because remember everything is get service or get process or get something, right? Then I can start hitting the tab, and I can start scrolling through these guys in alphabetical order and get to those, right? So I'll hit escape there to delete that. So once again, if I say CD space and then start tabbing, then it's just going to start tabbing through all of these things in here, right? But if I say something like get dash, don't put a space here, just tab, then it'll give me all the ones that I can have there. Cool? Now, one thing that's really cool is you can also go through your command selections with F7 and F8, and F8 is really functional